And I believe that being able to experience this joy is rooted in knowing that God's plan is bigger than our pain. God's plan is bigger than our pain. While you may be walking through something that is painful today, hear that. God's plan is bigger than our pain. So when I preach, I often like to share stories that sometimes tell on myself. If you remember a couple of weeks ago, I shared that story of me searching for the eggs in the pep rally on the butcher paper, the eggs that were not there. And then last week, I shared the story of me getting my arm stuck in a boat. Right? Now, when these things were happening, these things were not fun in my life, right? In fact, after that pep rally that day, it was the end of the day, and so I remember sitting outside in front of the school waiting for my mom to pick me up, and I remember just sitting there thinking, what just happened, right? I had made a fool in front of the entire school searching for eggs that were not there, and that isn't even what I was supposed to be doing anyways, right? I'm sitting there thinking, what just happened? But for the last 20 years or so, I have been able to use these stories for the sake of the gospel. These sometimes embarrassing, sometimes painful stories, I have been able to use these stories for the sake of sharing the gospel. And so I've been able to see people come to know Christ. I've been able to see people take that next step of baptism because of the gospel and the power of the gospel, but also because I've been willing to share these stories in my life. And so as we think about the painful things in our life, man, I wish I could go and sit down next to myself on that bench waiting for my mom and just say, one day you're going to be able to share this story for the sake of the gospel. It's going to be worth it, right? And when we're going through hard times, man, it's hard to see that. And so let me just give you this reminder right now. God's plan is bigger than our pain, so that when you do find yourself in the midst of suffering, when you do find yourself in the midst of a painful moment, you can recall this, man, God's got a plan that's bigger than this right now.